Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Soul Messenger 369 Tarot. So if you don't like to watch tarot, then I don't know how you made it here, but you might want to leave. Okay, so as promised, I am here, ta-da, to do this years in the making St. Patrick's Day message. Okay, so this is a message that I have been getting little by little, like bits and pieces kind of put together, to put together along the way. And I guess now is the time to actually do the reading on the message and the energy, because now is the time where it's actually coming. So it was like a little bit of prophecy, a little bit of, prophetic, like, I don't know, warning, but like, just a prophetic message, a message about what is to come. And in this case, I guess, well, for some of us, it was a good thing, and others not so much. So, okay. There's been a lot about like destiny swapping, right? Okay, we know this. In tarot land, there's been a lot of theft, right? Okay, spiritual theft. And that I have looked up is to do with an entity called Anzu. Okay, so that may be important. And you can do a little more research on it, but typically those who are knowingly doing any kind of, spell work, magic, things like that, would call on that entity in order to help them do any kind of like spiritual theft or destiny swapping. And it's funny that we say that because leprechauns, right? These ancient Irish folklore, right? They are known for, being supernatural creatures, okay, that like to take, to steal. And I think that in this case, it's possible that these types of entities, these leprechauns, have been called on to help with destiny swapping as well, right? There's a correlation there. And so if you catch a leprechaun, right, it's like, okay, so the folklore says that if you catch a leprechaun, then you get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Well, we have rainbows as a symbol of God, right? A promise. It's a promise. Rainbow is a promise. So it's like stealing the promise, stealing the destiny. But it also marks the end of the rainbow, right? The end of the destiny swapping, right? The end of it, right? You catch them at the end. So this is where we're at. We're at the point where this is the end of this entity's operating. Sorry. Right. So if, right, at any point in time, the leprechaun gets caught, then like that's the end, right? And the end comes with a payout. So this is kind of the message that I've been getting for years now, and it's just putting the pieces together now. And so now, because it is almost St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to pull on the energy. And because we are dealing with demonic entities here, okay, I have my angels and demons deck. All right, so just kind of want to see, like, start there and see what comes out. What do we need to know about this St. Patrick's Day reading for the collective? There it is. We have 23 and 21, which is interesting because the year that I that I started receiving this message was in 2023. And some other things happened in 2021 in my life that could have been the catalyst for this. You know, it was a big event. So something that happened in 2021, right, that maybe was the attempt at the destiny swap, right? Something, a major life-changing event that maybe wasn't supposed to happen, or wasn't supposed to happen until 2023, till 2 years later, maybe. I don't know. Something about that. But those years may be significant for you as well. Okay. Okay, so we have the angel Nell Shale, desire for knowledge. Okay, and the demon side of that is Marax, prejudice. Okay, and then we have the angel Mahael, capacity for healing. And on the demon side, it is aim, destruction of environment. So it's like you were targeted, okay, but by prejudice, you were targeted to have some, because of the knowledge that you sought or the knowledge that you possess, because of your capacity for healing, okay, or your knowledge of healing, you were targeted for destruction, okay? So it wasn't necessarily even theft and stealing, although it was, but maybe your destruction was intended for those purposes, that you had to be destroyed in order for them to get this financial gain, okay? All right. It's like, because you knew too much kind of thing. Even though maybe you didn't know as much in 2021 as you did in 2023. But it's like, too, so like they tried to do it before you came online, before you knew what was actually going on. Okay, we have number 1, Baal, and the Hawaii, new beginnings. So, one, two, three. This was a setup, okay? It was set up for you to have your new beginning. And there's anger because if you're still here, if you're watching my video and you're still standing, then it was unsuccessful. And knowledge is like they got caught, right? Okay, you know. Either you knew at the time it was happening or you figured it out after the fact. But because you figured it out, basically they got caught, right? And what happens when the leprechaun gets caught? You get the pot at the end of the rainbow. Well, now we're at the end of the rainbow and it's payout time. Yeah. Stolas, number 36. Protection from criminals. And this is interesting because this is the demon side. But so it's like a good demon. So you were protected by dark forces, okay? And number 36. And on the angel side, we have Manadel, inner and outer work. So you were protected by dark forces because you did work. You were doing healing work, okay, on your light and dark side. Hold on a second. Okay. Well, hello there. Yeah, so you were protected by light and dark forces because you were doing the inner and outer work, okay? You were doing the work inside and out on your physical or your 3D reality, while also doing the work on your spiritual reality. Okay, and if 136 is important to me, I don't know about you all, but to me, this is a symbol of divine feminine. So you may have been working with a dark feminine Lilith, maybe, or working on your, you know, dark feminine, or you were attacked by a dark feminine. Right. So, okay. So, also, if we're going with the theme of 136, then Baal, and also number 1, right? Got the crown on. Okay, Baal is a symbol of husband. All right. So this is like someone that you may have been married to, and crown, wanted to be Lord in your life. Okay. Wanted to be crowned, wanted to be number 1 in your life, but not in a good way, like, right? Like wanted to take everything and be number 1, and wanted to make you, you know, beneath them instead of beside them, like you should have been, or even above them, you know, if that's the way God intended it, right? So anyway, let's move on to the Love and Money deck. All right. And these numbers may be important to you as well. 1, 36, 23, and 21. But yeah, okay, so it was a setup. You were set up, or things led up to. Yeah, led up to, like I said before, it's like 2021. There was a sequence of events that led up to something that happened in 2023. And it's all just now, you know, kind of coming to an end. What else do we need to know? Okay, so we have money worship, number 27. So that's also like the Baal, okay? It's like money worship, all right? Also, so like these little leprechauns and the people that call on them, right? And I suppose you can unknowingly call on entities to do these kinds of things too. It's all about the energy and what you're really like asking for or praying for, and who you're praying to, you know what I mean? Like you may think you're praying to God, and if you're not asking for the right things, then you are not praying to God, you're praying to something else. Shredder, number 63. Yeah. Shredder, number 63. Notice patterns that suggest it's time to delete unwanted memories, random thoughts, and intense feelings. Urge you to shred the remnants of the past. Right. So I do feel like there is a call here to let things go, okay, and to leave them in the past, to let the past be the past, okay, and just shred it and forget it kind of thing, okay. Or that is what the money is going to be for, because there's going to be a big payout here now, because you noticed the patterns, okay? You noticed something, right? 1, 2, 3 pattern. You noticed something in 2021 that kind of set things off for another, you know, catalyst event in 2023. You noticed these things were happening. And also with prejudice here, I am getting a little bit of judgment, right? So like you were judged, and so you may have called judgment, even without knowing at the time, right, that this is what you're doing or why. Okay, so what else is there? Anything from this deck? Anything else from this deck? Anything else from this deck? Ooh. Gonna hurt. Okay, 24, false flame. Okay, so we have 21, 23, and 24. So this could also be right? Okay, and another thing that happened in 2024, okay? So 2020, 2021, 2023, 2024, right, there was a false flame deadline, okay? Number 67, a deadline, 6-7. That's interesting. It was in 2025 that 6-7 thing became super popular, right? Maybe that was significant in that it marked some kind of deadline for this false flame to complete something, but they couldn't because you noticed the pattern of them, you know, worshiping money, of loving money more than they loved you. Focus on what can be done now and not what has been delayed. So there was a delay, right? Okay, maybe there was a delay in you receiving some kind of finances. Maybe this payout. Maybe you started to see and recognize what was happening, you know, patterns in 2021 that led to you like leaving in 2023. But yet, and maybe like in 2023 is when there should have been a payout, but then there was a delay, right? Because they would have had to take you out, destruction. They would have had to take you out in order to get this. And so whatever entities or whatever were trying to give them more time to get the job done, right? Meanwhile, you are probably having, bad energy and magic sent towards you, attacks. You're being attacked constantly this entire time. So you have experienced, attacks. You have experienced things in your life where it's just one thing after another, after another, after another, whether it's just things breaking down or bad luck, losing a job, losing a home, having a car breakdown, getting hurt, like breaking a limb, having to go to the hospital. Maybe you were in some kind of car accident. Right? Just like one thing after another, after another, after another. And there was a deadline. Because there was a deadline, maybe 2025 was the deadline because with the 6-7 here. And they didn't make it. They weren't able to do it. Break the cycle of procrastination with small steps. Thinks they're retrapped in a procrastination cycle with no end in sight. And then we have comparison, number 26, but it's reverse. Okay. Excuses for not acknowledging our differences held us back. Bridging the gap starts with honesty about what sets us apart. And so we have 26 and 27 here. So we're in the year of 2026, and then what comes next in 2027, I don't know, but may have something to do with money worship, and maybe we're getting a payout, right? Because this is like the open wallet, right? And it's like transferring from one to the other. So maybe this has something to do with the wealth transfer. Maybe this is bigger than just you and a husband, right? Or significant other, all right? This could be on a grander scale, a worldwide scale, like a spiritual level, but like on a whole other level, like worldwide level or universal level even. Bridging the gap. Yeah, you caught on to some kind of patterns. Woke up to the spirituality of everything. Realized that this was happening, right? And called judgment on it. I'm gonna use the Light Seers Tarot for a minute and just see, like, I just want to check in on that. Tell me about this. Is this upside down? No. Okay, so Two of Wands reverse. Okay, right. Oh, wow. Okay, right. So it's like, couldn't see ahead. All right. Couldn't see that far ahead. Couldn't see, or wasn't part of the plan, right? It's like you didn't know the plan, but you were a major part of the plan, right? Okay, that's what I'm getting. It's that, like, this was all part of the plan, okay? And you were a part of the plan, but you didn't know you were a part of the plan, right? At least not when this all began. Maybe at this point, maybe now you do. Or it wasn't planned, or it was, at least it wasn't planned by you. It wasn't part of your plan. Like, this is not according to plan. It's the feeling that I'm getting. Yeah. Six of Cups reverse and the Sun reverse. Right, so I'm getting the feeling of, like, having the rug pulled out from under you, right? Like, all of a sudden, it's like your whole life just turned upside down, and it's like, well, this is not, like, how did this happen? This was not part of the plan for me to end up, like, you know, just unhappy and all this chaos, and, right, like, Six of Cups from the past to the present, even. Just kind of wondering, like, how the hell did I get here? And maybe that questioning, right, is what started to help you recognize the patterns and put the pieces together. I swear, this, like, it's like, this deck is not, it's not upside down, but all these cards keep coming out, right? So Seven of Wands reverse. This is not having spiritual protection. What is this? Tell me, why is it coming out like this? Again. Ten of Pentacles reverse and Eight of Pentacles reverse. And Hanged Man reverse, right? Okay. On the bottom of the deck. Yeah, okay. And the Six of Pentacles. This is that wealth transfer. Right? For not knowing that you were being sacrificed. Okay? And that, like, those who tried to sacrifice you, everything is turning back around on them. All their work and effort, right, that they did for this money, they're not going to get it. And now they're not protected. And they, for what they did behind the scenes, what was hidden in the past, and even now. So maybe they haven't changed, right? There was a deadline to maybe give them an opportunity to change. They didn't take it. Because maybe you caught them a long time ago, and they've just been, like, given the opportunity, the chance to change in between now and then, and they didn't. And they tried to steal. They tried to steal. They tried to steal your children. They tried to steal your happiness. They tried to steal your protection. They tried to steal your money, your ancestral inheritance, your lineage, your job. And it's all backfired. Now they have to give you what is yours, what is owed to you, because you caught them. You caught on, you caught them. Ten of Wands reverse, right? Okay, they tried to put burdens on you that are also now going back to them. I swear, what is up with this deck, man? Page of Cups reverse and Emperor reverse on the bottom of the deck. And they're not sorry. They're not sorry. Not sorry for being a tyrant, okay? For their tyranny. And the Nine of Wands, it's like you're long-suffering warrior. You had to endure, okay, a lot of abuse, a lot of torture, okay, for a really long time. And you came out this wounded warrior, right? A lot of wounds. You have a lot of wounds. Okay. All right. I'm going to switch decks now. I just want to get like one from this deck, please. Just yeah, it's upside down. All right. Just give me one from this deck real quick, please. What do we need to know? Can this help us in any way? Yeah. I am light. Okay. I always have hope. No matter the ordeal, I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. I open my heart to others and to God and am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. So it's like, no matter how dark things may have gotten, you always maintained this level of light, okay? And this is what has seen you through. Because it's like, I'm getting that, like, you knew there had to be something better, you know, like, there had to be something better than this, right? And there had to be a reason. Like, I'm getting questions, right? This questioning of, you know, like, this isn't the way it was supposed to be, or this wasn't the plan. How is it that this is, like, how did it end up like this, right? And you and seeking the knowledge, the truth, to get to the bottom of it, and spirit revealing things to you along the way, and that ultimately it was all for your protection and betterment. So it's like, no matter what way it turned out, you were going to end up on top no matter what. It was all about trying to give this dark entity or entities or people the opportunity to change, to turn themselves around. And they didn't. They refused, right? They didn't want to change. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch over to this ethereal deck. All right, so what do we need to know about this St. Patrick's Day reading for 2026? Maybe 2026 is the year of the wealth transfer. Okay. We have Knight of Swords. Okay. So there was this determination, okay, to seek the truth, to find the truth. Like I said, it's like an investigation, right? Okay. Having questions and getting answers. High Priestess and the Empress coming out together. And the World. Okay. Yeah, so it's like the determination, the information found, okay, is that you are this Empress, Goddess, High Priestess, and something about the world, right? Like sent to like set the world free or set the world right. The World, Empress, High Priestess. Sorry, wasn't expecting that. Um, the Sun and the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so it's like, yeah, you sought truth, you spoke truth, you found the truth. Now you're protecting the truth, and this has been the Knight of Pentacles. It took a long time to get to the Sun, to get to the happiness, to get to the end of the rainbow. Okay, sorry. To get to the end of the rainbow, to get to the exposure. Okay, to get to the end of it, right? So you've been on this journey of truth and knowledge seeking, right? Okay, and we have the Empress here, and I'm just, it's a rainbow. She's got a rainbow. It's like a whole rainbow of protection. Right, so now we're at the end of the rainbow. Okay, because you sought this information. It's like you sought to find out who you were in the spirit, and you found out it's like a big fucking deal, and that you were being used as part of God's plan, okay, to set things in motion, possibly having to do with an energetic transfer or a transfer of power, but also money, because finances here is the currency of like energy there. And where attention goes, money flows. It's like too, you turned something on energetically, that like entities, both light and dark, were drawn to you. And where attention goes, money flows. So they had their attention on you. And so now you've got this big transfer of money, of energy coming to you. Because you did something. There's something that you did that may have caused all of this. Or again, something that happened that caused something in you. All right, I want to do that one last. Okay, let me just get a couple from this deck right now. Okay, hello. That one was like ready to fly out. Okay, number 27, a grand symphony. Okay, so it's like... it's like 2027 is going to be grand, okay? Something, whatever's coming in 2027 is going to be grand. And I'm drawn to this, the gold and the green in here, right? Okay, those are the major, like, color schemes, right? For St. Patrick's Day, green and gold, which is also, I'm going to just say right now, the color schemes for the Wizard of Oz, right? For Oz in the Wizard of Oz, which is going to probably be our next reading, or our next themed reading, or next big reading, or next, you know, like I already have a message download kind of thing. I might do some just energetic pulls in between now and then. We'll see. Oh, shoot. Oh, spilling. I'm spilling too much. Okay. Sorry, Spirit. Okay, I don't want to give too much away. All right, but this is important. Okay, and the 2027 is going to be important in some way as well. Something to do with music. In the music industry, maybe. I don't know. All right, moving on. 2025, birds of a feather. Okay. Number 5, orphaned. So in 2025 may have been a year where you left someone behind, okay? You orphaned someone, you left them all alone, okay? But something about 2027, either, you know, they're being replaced with something better, or it's just everything's going to be better in 2027. 2027 is going to be like a whole new something. Okay. Number 17, the fates. Okay, so some kind of fated something. Maybe you're going to meet somebody in 2027, all right, that is a good fit for you, that you make beautiful music together. But I don't know why that's coming out now. Unless it's part of what was stolen that has to be returned kind of thing, okay? Okay, we have the Fool reverse. Holding back, recklessness, gullible, and distracted. Sorry, okay, I'm getting distracted. It's a distraction. Okay, so maybe this whole, you know, like relationship thing was just one big distraction to keep you from figuring things out, right? Because they didn't want you to figure out what that they were stealing, what they were stealing, how they were stealing, what entities they were using to steal. You know, that there was magic being done here intentionally. Okay, even if like there were certain groups that were doing things intentionally, even if on lower levels, okay, people were doing things unintentionally. And it's like it's almost like you started at the top and you worked your way down, whereas most people start at the bottom and work their way up. You did things a little bit differently and you got good results. Yeah, the devil on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you started at the top, okay? This is the devil. This is like the top of the dark side, right? So you started at the top and you worked your way down. So it's like you started at a worldwide level and then worked your way down to what was happening in your own personal life. You did things a little bit differently and you got results. We have number 6, the Lovers, romance, partnership, duality, and union. Again, I don't know why that's here other than maybe it was just meant to be a distraction. Because you had a higher purpose and you were being distracted with romantic relationships or even problematic relationships, not necessarily with romance, but just problematic relationships. And this is the Ace of Wands. Adventure, creative spark, enthusiasm, and new beginning. Yeah, to distract you from the new beginning. Okay. Oh, good Lord. Okay. This is, I'm just being told digmatized. Okay. Digmatized. You were digmatized. Okay. They tried to digmatize you. Okay. If you know what that means, right? I'm sorry if it offends you. If you don't. Okay. Is this deck? I don't fucking know, man. I don't even know anymore. Okay, so 10 of Wands reverse and 2 of Swords reverse. Yeah, so there was a relationship, okay, that you were placed in that was meant to distract you, to take you off your path, to keep you from seeking the truth and finding it, from doing this investigation, and to keep you in, right, to keep you too busy, okay, and unable to see clearly, to think clearly, to make good decisions, or to make any decision at all. Right, but you broke through this, right? Okay. And the Knight of Swords reverse. Yes, that's just confirmation, right? To try to keep you from being able to do this investigation. Yeah. Hey guys, please stop. Okay, so the 3 of Wands reverse. Yeah. It was to distract you, to blind you, to keep you so busy that you wouldn't be able to complete the task, right? Okay, and I'm Queen of Pentacles reverse. Because they didn't want you to get this money as well, right? Because look at this too, right? Again, we have the theme of like the green and the gold, the green and the gold, and this is like heart. Green is like heart chakra, and gold, I don't know, it's like having a heart of gold, right? All right, anyway, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this around because I'm not even sure which is up, which is down, which is kind of their intention, right? They didn't want you to know. They wanted you to be so busy, distraught, and confused and broke that you didn't know which way was up and which way was down. They wanted you to be so damn burdened, okay? But now we have the World, the King of Pentacles, the Sun, and the King of Cups. So it's like, okay, so now we've reached the end, right? We have the sun, the rainbow, the end of the rainbow, the world, okay? Worldwide. But also a level of achievement, again, with the green and the gold, the green and the gold, the green and the gold. You have achieved something. You have achieved exposure, happiness, celebration, positivity, success. Okay, you have been successful in mastering your emotions and your money. Okay, and you have this big amount of money. This is the end of the rainbow. End of the rainbow. Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay. What else? Oh, come back here. Shoot. Okay, it's the Six of Wands. I'm not going to show it to you because I'm not going to reach down there and grab it right now. But it's the Six of Wands. It's victory. It's success. It's recognition. Again, success. You have succeeded. You have successfully completed your mission. Okay, and High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. Okay, and oh, authentication card, and Judgment. Right. Okay, so you were definitely sent here. Okay, damn. Eight of Cups on the bottom with the Eight of Swords and Death. Right? Okay, so you were it's like you were a high priestess. Okay, you tapped into your intuition, into spirit, turned something on. You brought the darkness and the light together. Okay, you are the real deal too. You are the real deal, authentic high priestess, calling judgment, okay, on everything you saw in the spirit and the physical. Okay, and 8-8, it's karma. It is also abundance. Okay, it is 8 of Cups and 8 of Swords, walking away from this trap. Okay, this trap that was meant to keep you trapped, that was supposed to cause you a death and ending, right? So they could take what was yours, because you, yeah, again, you like, yeah, you were supposed to be dead. And final, this was supposed to be like final. But it's like you turned it around. You used your spiritual gifts to turn it around, because it's like you caught them, you called judgment. Now you are the one who is going to be in the sun, right? In getting the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, because you caught them trying to steal from you in the spirit. 7 of Wands came out upright. Okay, you're protected from the 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You're protected from this chaos, right, that they have been trying to send towards you. Okay, the competition. And you're ready, battle ready. It's like you're ready. You're ready. You've already fought. You don't even have to fight anymore. It's already done. The battle is done. But you were ready. It's like they came for you and you were ready. Yeah, okay. I hope this has helped you in some way, shape, or form. I hope, if nothing else, it has entertained you for a few moments in time, and that if you haven't already, you will like, share, and subscribe. Bye.